Porn. We've all seen it. But that's not really what this article is about. Except that it is. Why the internet needs to stop using food porn. Now, this is from the website fightthenewdrug.org. What is the new drug? Well, as you could probably see from their popular posts and this article and the name, that they are an anti porn lobby. What's that? They hate porn. Yes. Yes. This is a Christian organization supported by other Christian organizations that goes on their justice, you know, tirade, trying to enforce principles that they loosely defend as being scientifically or morally correct without really any real evidence to support that, other than always falling back to the eventually, well, God said so. So, this is an article to fight using the terms such as food porn and car porn, and I'm sure you if you are on Reddit, I'm sure that you are subscribed to a subreddit with porn in part of its name. Could be word porn, could be, there's a lot, you know, and let's start reading first. Let's start reading. In the age of fashionable foodgrams, tweets, and posts, it's no wonder that hashtag food porn is one of the most popular hashtags on social media. Over 95 million photos are tagged hashtag food porn on Instagram, with plenty other food and porn combinations to add millions more images. The pictures depict drool-worthy deliciousness that create instant cravings. Just food, anything that can be envied, desired, or glamorized is attached to the word porn on social media. Below are some of just the thousands of porn accounts that can be found on Twitter: car porn, food porn, weddings porn, earth porn, and estate porn. Wedding porn? Seriously. What people don't realize is how harmful this normalization of the word. Now, they mean pornography. But porn, in the case of these different feeds, is actually appropriate. Let's take a look at the word porn. Porn. First definition, pornography. This is the definition that is being used by this article. They are saying pornography, sex. What normal people are using is the second definition. TV programs, magazines, books, memes, whatever, etc., that are regarded as emphasizing the sensuous or sensational aspects of a non-sexual subject and stimulating a compulsive interest in their audience. You take something that is normal and you emphasize the things about it that are great, and to make it appealing to an audience. That is what food porn is. That is what, like, destruction porn movies, like the Michael Bay Transformers movies. Those are destruction porn. Like, there's so much, like, it's being used in the proper sense. So what's the harm? Okay. Think about it. For most people, labeling something as porn, even if it's just a sandwich, implies that it's the sexiest ideal. As we just discovered, it is not about sex when it's being used. It's not sexy. It's their way of saying that this is a scandalously delicious meal that everyone would want. Yes. Yes, it is. That is exactly what they're saying. But they're not saying that it's sexy. They're saying that it's impressive and that it's thrilling, not that it's sexual, and not that it's an ideal, but that it's basically just awesome. I mean, back in the old days when I used to browse 4chan, there was sync porn threads, and people would just post syncs. So many syncs, and these were beautiful goddamn syncs, but they're just fucking syncs. I may still even have some of those pictures, but the thing is, it's not. Porn is the furthest thing from sex perfection. It's just a cheap, hollow counterfeit that exaggerates sex to the highest degree. Porn is the sex version of word porn. And, or like food porn, or any of those other porns. Like, it's just the sex version. It's supposed to just get your interests. And it does that by appealing to sex. It's the same thing. It is the same thing. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be attractive, thrilling, exciting. Also, no. Okay. We posted an interview with a popular porn director who says the production of porn includes actors performing painful sex acts and male actors injecting themselves to keep their erections for hours on end. Now, I'm sure that the porn director did not say it in that way. I'm sure that that was spun. Though the men injecting themselves, that is accurate. But if you see the needles that they use, and they'll tell you that it really doesn't hurt, but it is something that they need to do, injecting themselves with agents of arousal, Viagra, liquid form, directly into the penis. The conditions that male and female porn actors tolerate are incredibly harsh and physically extreme. They are athletes. Porn actors and actresses are athletes. That's what they're saying. Not to mention, with averages of 74 sexual partners in their lifetimes, porn performers are at a much higher risk of contracting STDs. This is not true. Now, okay, let me clarify. The rate of treatable STIs, STDs, they say, even though this is an article from February this year, it should say STIs, red flag, professionalism. STIs, the rate of HIV in porn actresses is far lower than it is in any other industry. The number of new cases of HIV in the porn industry is less than one per year. In fact, the last time there was an HIV case in the porn industry was in 2013, I believe. And then before that, it wasn't until it was like one, I think, in 2011, and there was like 4 in 2006. But you know what's important? Is that none of that was on set. That was not a result of the porn industry. That was a result of promiscuity outside of the workplace. Having sex with other people, not doing porn. That is how they got STDs. And yes, the rate of chlamydia and gonorrhea is higher than average in the porn industry. But they get great benefits and get paid a lot of money to be able to just, oh, you got chlamydia? whatever, you go get a shot. I mean, you could do that. You can do that. You can do that nowadays. You can just get a shot and then you don't have chlamydia or gonorrhea anymore. It's fine, you know? Let's see. Not to mention with high risk of STDs. Not to mention the fact that porn and the global sex trafficking industry are heavily connected. Now, this is another false. This is this statement is also false. So the thing about this is that they are going with. I looked. I was like, what's the link between porn and sex trafficking? Um, this top link, the connections between pornography and sex trafficking, is a Christian institute. Uh, a Christian institute by a Catholic, like this, want to stop sex trafficking, look at America's porn addiction. This is a Huffington Post article from a Catholic with a clear religious agenda. The thin line between trafficking and pornography, Christianity Today. This stop enslavement, U.S. Catholic Sisters Against Human Trafficking. Connecting the dots between sex trafficking and pornography. This is also a Christian organization. What is the link between pornography and sex trafficking? ChristianPost.com. These are religious organizations. These are the only ones that are religious people are the ones who insist that there is a link in those two things. And you know why? You know how they say that? They change it by redefining sexual pornography as sex trafficking. That's how they do it. In fact, I even saw an article. Hold on. In fact, this top one, in fact, says that very thing. The dichotomy between sex trafficking and the realities of pornography is a serious misconception that needs to be addressed. Let's see. Finally, we will see that the production of pornography constitutes sex trafficking under current legal definitions. Therefore, now, this is a Christian initiative to legally classify pornography as sex trafficking and therefore ban pornography. But I mean, it's just when you change the definition of the word, then yeah. And in fact, I'll go back one more time. The definition basically it says that pornography is advertising traffic. It's just the lack of understanding. They're basically like, because sex trafficking happens, you can't use hashtag food because we said so. And also, porn is bad. Porn is very bad. And even though these people make a lot of money, and many of them very much enjoy what they do, they are bad people. And, it says that it glorifies disrespect, abuse, infidelity, and aggression, leading to serious problems outside the bedroom as well. You know what? If you actually, there are couples that watch porn together. Can you believe that? There are couples that watch porn together, and it helps them maybe deal with like some sexual frustration that they're having. Maybe, they were like thinking about another woman and then, watch some porn, have sex with your wife, you know, everything's good. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I love my wife. I don't need to have sex with this. It's fine. You know what? That's ah just people say that porn sex is the best sex. Everyone knows that that's wrong. Porn sex is meant to look appealing, not to be appealing. That's why, like, a guy will go in at an angle so that the camera can clearly get the shot of him going inside. It's like that's the kind of, that you wouldn't do that because it wouldn't be as pleasurable, you know? You want your sex to be good sex, so you do the things that feel good. You just oh. And then there's this at the porn is not something any of us should have to get used to. It's the point is that it's supposed to be something that's above and supposed to be thrilling. Why if what hashtag do you use then? Maybe next time you want to post a picture of a sandwich, only use the hashtag food porn if it's cheap, fake, and damaging to your health, because that's what porn is. And you're like, what? What hashtag do you use then? Food. Hashtag food. Hashtag delicious. And they may say that that's good, but that doesn't express your feelings about the food or about whatever else. I just don't just so ridiculous. I think that the most hilarious part though is that whenever I see these articles, because I get a lot of these from Facebook, because I know a lot of people who share these kinds of things on Facebook, uh, which I guess is to my benefit. I always tell them thanks, and they always like my comment. But I don't think that they ever know this is what I'm doing. Flash rant. Anyways, if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, watch some of my other videos. My next video will probably be something political because politics and Donald Trump can't keep his fucking mouth shut. No, I'm not supposed to be ranting yet. Right. Next time. Next time, though.